So, today we're going to dive into something really special. It's a new way of thinking about science that's taking root in Brazil. This is a story about innovation that starts from the ground up, making sure the people who actually live with the problem are the ones leading the charge to solve it. Let's get into it. And really, it all boils down to this one simple question. Who gets a seat at the table? Who gets to be the scientist, the innovator? Because, the answer to that question changes everything. It shapes the kinds of solutions we come up with and the future we're all trying to build.
This is the reality in Brazil right now. Even though there's been some progress, Black and Indigenous scientists are still seriously underrepresented. About 2/3 of all master's and doctoral degrees are held by white individuals. That's a huge gap in perspective, in experience, and in leadership.
And look, this isn't just about fairness or numbers on a chart. When you shut out entire communities from science, you're not just being unfair, you're actively kneecapping the science itself. It's like trying to solve a giant, complex puzzle with half the pieces missing. You lose out on crucial knowledge, different ways of thinking, and honestly, some of the most creative solutions. But in the face of this big challenge, a really powerful response has started to grow, and it's called the Mancala Institute.
So, what is the Mancala Institute? Well, their mission is super clear and direct. They're a nonprofit, and they are laser focused on using science and technology as actual tools to fight back against those deep, long-standing social and racial inequalities in Brazil. And you can just feel the passion in their own words. They say their whole mission is to empower these groups, to help them transform their own communities from the inside. It's about building them up, giving them the tools, not just swooping in with outside help.
So, how do they actually do all this? Well, their flagship initiative is the Mukengi Program, which they launched back in 2020. And this program, this is really where their entire philosophy just comes to life. And the Mukengi Program isn't your average university course, not at all. It's this really dynamic model that weaves together three key things: serious scientific discussion, hands-on, real-world research, and a deep, genuine commitment to making a social impact. And this breakdown just shows how smart their structure is. It stands on three main pillars. First, you've got top-notch training in science and how to communicate it. Second, the research they do is applied. It's meant to directly solve problems in local communities. And third, there's this constant circle of mentorship and support to make sure these new leaders don't just start, but they actually succeed. This quote, this really gets to the heart of it. This is what makes the Mukengi program a total game changer. They completely flip the old script. Instead of experts from the outside coming into a community, the research actually starts in the community. The scientists are the people from those communities. That means the solutions they create are exactly what's needed, they're trusted, and they actually work. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when they put it into practice? Well, let's check out a fantastic example of their work in action, the Tekoa project. At its core, Tekoa is a really smart, tech-driven solution for a massive problem. It's a computational tool they built to help communities that have unreliable access to energy or sometimes no access at all. And here's the brilliant part. First, the tool pinpoints which communities need help the most. Then it actually maps out the potential for renewable energy right there. Things like solar or wind. And finally, and this is the magic, it plays matchmaker. It connects these communities with partners like NGOs or government agencies that can help them fund and build their own local energy solutions. And Tekoa isn't just some one-off success story. Nope. They're taking this exact same community-led approach and applying it to other huge issues. Take their project Onde Tem Fome, which means where is hunger. It's a whole system they're building to track and fight food insecurity, again, right at the community level. So this work is obviously making a huge difference right now. But the Mancala Institute, they're playing the long game. They have this incredible vision for a huge nationwide transformation. They've actually laid out this really ambitious roadmap for the next decade. Kicking off in 2026, they're launching a massive push for resources. And the end goal? By 2036, they want to have helped build a completely new way of doing science in Brazil, one that is inclusive and community-led from the start. Now, to make all that happen, they're looking for partners. And any investment isn't just a blank check, right? It's super strategic. It's all about making sure the institute itself is stable, funding community researchers directly, pushing the technology forward, and turning these amazing pilot projects into permanent, self-sustaining programs.
Because in the end, their message is that this has to be a team effort. Supporting this kind of work isn't just about one project, it creates a ripple effect. It helps build a science that's not only more just, but way more creative and effective for everyone.
And that kind of leaves us with one final, really powerful question to think about. What the Mukengi program is doing, it's not just about balancing the scales. It's about unlocking potential we didn't even know we had. It forces us to imagine what really happens when the tools of science and discovery finally belong to everyone.